Hello everyone, my name is Takano and I am the founder and main developer for TakaNeko Gaming. As you may be very well aware, the Project G incident will be launching October 1st, 2025. And in anticipation for the release of the game, we're going to be going behind the scenes for the Project G incident Tape 1. What you will be seeing today is a curated exploration of the pre-alpha version of the game that was recorded about 10 months ago. This was back when I thought that the game was going to be releasing in October of last year. And it's actually really funny just listening to myself speaking, and I'm like, well, there's still a lot of work to be done, but we should be ready for release in October. And I'm like, yeah, sure, you keep dreaming, you big dreamer, you go get 'em, sucker. But it's a really interesting exploration because, well, you'll get to see the game like in its, like, I guess you could say it's like not a primordial state, but it's like it's in a more raw state. There's NPC placeholders everywhere. Some sound effects are not there. I genuinely come out and say, yeah, there's supposed to be something that happens there. It's not there yet, so we'll move along. Uh, some of these NPCs have dialogue, but we're going to move on because we need to leave because the laptop is going to start heating up any moment now. And if I don't finish this and the computer shuts down, it's going to take the recording with it. So let's move things along. And I say it's going to be curated because it does get into some of the snippets of the game that were not previewed in any of the what do you call it, the playthroughs that are on the channel. So I do kind of want to keep those a little bit under wraps still. So there is going to be a little bit of splicing to kind of keep things hidden. But other than that, I think it's a really interesting little playthrough. Hopefully, I can edit it down. Hopefully, this is a digestible bit of behind the scenes lore for the game. And yeah, I really hope that you enjoy listening to it. It's gonna be really what'll be really funny is that it's Takano from about a year ago. Not really thinking that this was going to be going on YouTube. Just kind of recording it maybe for a friend, just so that I could explain it to them. And in order to get some feedback, or just in order to, like, as I say in the video, lay some foundation for what the Project G incident was supposed to be. So anyway, we'll be moving along to the video. Thank you very much for watching, and remember that the Project G incident tape 1 will be premiering on Itch.io October 1st, 2025. Thank you very much for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you around. Alright, hopefully I can get this in one go. Welcome everybody to the pre-alpha playthrough of the Project G incident. I'm trying to get this bit of explanation out of the way before we begin the game. Because you don't want to spend too much time in the game right now. I just don't know how it's going to affect the computer. Whether it will be to my benefit or not. So we do want to make just a very concise playthrough, and the fact that I'm going to be talking through it the entire time, the risk goes up and up, so might as well do as much as we can before we open the game. So let's see. As far as I know, there should not be any issues with playing the game outright. The computer does have a tendency to like the fans turn on and overheats and stuff like that when I'm in Unreal. But playing the game, maybe it's not as taxing. I would imagine though that playing the game is almost maybe a little less equivalent to playing it on UE5. At least with through playing the game, the computer doesn't have to take into account like the actual software. At least this is just the assets and the program itself for playing, for displaying and interacting with the game and everything. So hopefully that makes sense. Trying to mitigate that issue. Hopefully it will get better later, but for now, the build does still have a lot of the like extra assets that are floating around the place. and it's not necessarily optimized for anything. It's just a play test. It's just a play build that I wanted to really finish on time. And let me see. I would not say that anything was shirked in order to make this make this build ready by the time that it was supposed to be. There might be something missing here or there, but ultimately I did do exactly what I wanted to do as far as what I imagined a finished like pre-alpha pitch video would be concerned. The only thing that could be missing is maybe just like an example or like a placeholder for what the monster would be in the game. Be nice if it had something, but right now we actually don't have anything. Let me see. Yeah, this should actually do it. Probably should have started with an introduction. This is my name is Takano. I am the sole coder and the game dev for TakaNeko Gaming. This is the pre-alpha build test playthrough for the Project G incident. For the moment, that is a placeholder name, but every day more and more it just seems like, yeah, that could actually work. Project G was the original code name that was given to the Godzilla movie, and this is just an incident that happened. Sort of like it is supposed to be based on like an alternate history of the story. This is all based on the Man in the Suit analog horror series by Unknowingly. You found it on YouTube. It is an original spin on the story, as it were. A lot of this is just extrapolated and expanded information on what could have happened in the story. It's not a endorsed or definitive version of events. It's just it's a way that it's my interpretation of like how it could have happened if you were the person there experiencing everything firsthand. And there might be some information that has been moved around, maybe something that just is not even alluded to in the series, or maybe it's based on something that happens much later, and is still not entirely confirmed. But that's just the way that I developed the story, just kind of going off of like what could be happening, what has the series as a whole told me, like up to the point where it's been finished and everything. And I just figure this could be the case. Why not? But it's just a version of events. It's not a one-to-one retelling, though I tried to be as faithful as I can. So let's move on into the actual game itself. Let me see. Mouse should disappear at some point, though I don't know if the capture for Streamlabs will pick it up. Okay, so right here we're going to be doing just a walk playthrough. I'm not going to rush it unless I eventually find out that computer can't take it. I actually don't know if my voice is going to be louder than the music. I did not take that into account. Alright, so like I said, lots of floating pieces. The world is still just out here, but the game takes place in here. So what I'm planning to have is an annex, which is basically the player character arrived by car or by walking to the studio. They walked in through a set of doors, and then they close behind them, and you're in an annex that eventually leads to this set of doors here. And you basically take your steps forward, walk inside. And you have a small tutorial: E to interact, shift to run. Yeah. Anyway, so a lot of these assets are from UE5 themselves. Some things in here might be from something in the actual store, but it's all things that have been pre-made. We chose to go this route because obviously making all this type of stuff would just take months, like weeks and weeks and weeks, and I don't have that kind of time. And this is a volunteer project, so we needed to go with things that have been made, that have already been made, that really help with like the process as far as getting the game game up and running within a reasonable amount of time. So a lot of these come in usually with no collision, and I have to add my own collision blocks, so that's the case there. We walk this way. Oh, there is open exploration, but it is available to the player after a certain number of events. So if you try to leave, you get a prompt that I should not explore without speaking to my supervisors first. And that happens for each direction. Should not explore without speaking with my superiors. So I'm also noticing that while running Streamlabs and the game, there is a bit of like a chug. For the moment, I won't be able to help that. There is also a small anomaly. I call it an anomaly because it doesn't make any sense. So there is something here, right there. Right there, the player is bumping into something invisible, and I don't know what it is. In playtesting, the player, like, I paused the game, I stopped the game right here where the player is like bumping into something invisible, and I don't understand. It's still there. And when I leave the editing mode, when I go into editing mode, there's nothing here. There's nothing for me to delete. There's nothing for me to adjust. For some reason, there's just something invisible. I'll keep looking into what that issue is, but it's just a little annoying when you walk around and you just so happen to turn and your body kind of just goes around something that you can't see. It's just a little weird. And there's also the possibility of getting caught on it. So let me see. So that was one route. Route number 3. These doors you cannot go into. You do have an interact icon. Let me see. In order to continue, you actually have to speak to this NPC. Hello, you must be new here. Can I help you with anything? I was asked to come here by Satori-san. I'm a photographer, of course. Satori-san called out today. You must be the photographer from our neighboring studio. Welcome. Have you received your instructions from Satori-san? Honestly, no. Satori-san said I could just use his equipment, but he did not offer any more information. He was acting very odd. That's not a problem. I'm happy to help if I can. As our new associate principal photographer, we would like you to take some pictures from around the studio. We are in the middle of preparing for a shoot, so this is the best time to take photos from behind the scenes. Where would you like me to go then? I would like you to focus on the prop room, the break room, and the office. The prop room has since been changed to the storage room. Photograph anything you find that's important, as long as you have at least one photo from each room. Is that really enough? There will be plenty of opportunities for more, and don't forget we also have our titular star, Goji. Goji? That's the nickname for the suit we are using for the Gojira movie. Goji, can be a bit awkward around new people. Just be respectful and use your best judgment when taking pictures of it. There is a typo there. Okay. I would like to start my work then, if that's alright. Of course. I'm afraid I don't have any further instructions for you. Thank you, sir. I will be able to figure things out from here. Wait. Yes. You know what? It's nothing. I guess just make sure to focus on your objectives. Don't get distracted. Yes, sir. Go on. Now that's a bit of a long, long sequence as far as like how many times you have to press E in order to get the information across. I do want to try and consolidate that conversation into fewer boxes by having more pieces spoken, like in less dialogue boxes, as it were. So you do have a to-do list in the corner. Now it says collect your camera from the locker room. We do want to have labels everywhere so that you know where to go. So locker room here, you got break room and storage room are that way or this way. This is the sound stage. The producer's office is over there, etc. So this door now becomes open. Oh, we got a hitch. Oh, there we go. Weird. Weird, like I said, not entirely optimized all the way through, but it's there. Equip your camera with the R key. Use the camera flash with the left click. So you got R for your camera, flash with left click. You do have a reflection of a floating camera. That's funny. I never noticed that. I didn't notice that as far as like when I was playing things out, but testing things out. Here we have locker. This is supposed to be a more a locker that stands out to you. You can open it, inspect a few things inside. You have some articles, newspaper clippings. Lighting in this room should get better with the next iteration. We got a photo and a note. You can pick up either one as long as you see the interact icon. Well, this is odd. Who would file a photograph like this? A husband and wife, but I don't recognize this man. He must be a crew member, right? And we have our first, who the fuck are you? Get out of here. Cool. So that was our first little instance there. Wonder if you noticed it in the mirror. Mirrors do provide reflection for other characters. You also have a note. Does this belong to one of the crew members? Behavior like this should have been reported immediately already. I'll keep this in mind for later. I might change that dialogue. There's not necessarily like a I'll keep this in mind, you know, for later type of thing. You put the note down, and I'll point out though that that particular moment with what should be Goji in the doorway happens whether you pick up the note or the photograph, and it does not repeat when you go back. If you go back to the other note or photograph, you know, depending on which one you pick up. The door does close. When Goji will appear in the room if you close the door as well. Ooh. You have a click to zoom. And it's gone. Okay. That's another one of our little moments there. Alright, so this is supposed to be the break room. You walk in. This is one of the more underdeveloped rooms. There should be a lot more going on. As far as like things all over the place, yeah, we're all set. But I think it will get to a point where the chairs do have to be smaller. There should be an NPC here. Maybe some food on plates elsewhere. Maybe another NPC somewhere else. Who knows? We do want to make like the studio feel a little populated, if anything. But they may only have small blurbs and things to say that are not super important. This is going to be where your first objective is, and we should have some sort of interaction that says, so here's nothing here. They should have some sort of interaction, something that clues the player into figuring that this is important. We should figure out what it is that it's about. You could also figure that speaking to the NPCs is going to be important, so in order to get things moving along. So we have this guy here. Can I help you with something? I prefer not to be interrupted while I'm having lunch. And then you have to speak with them again. The posters that used to be there are long gone. Let's put typo there. You'll have to find new ones. Okay, then go get them. That's your player character asking them to go do it. Not my problem, buddy. And you sigh. Now you're stuck with doing the job for him. You now have different objectives in the corner. Bring movie posters to the break room. There's 3 posters to collect. all of them based on films that inspired the Gojira movie in 1954. You got King Kong, and you pressed E to take that off the wall. The Beast of 20,000 Leagues, number 2, and the 12 Samurai movie. Not so much, maybe not inspired it, but it is a very pivotal movie for Toho back in the day. I believe it was their first movie, either that or it was the movie that kind of was the make or break movie, that if they made this movie and nothing came out of it, they were gonna go under. But getting 12 Samurai to succeed made it so that they could continue with their studio and go on to making Gojira. So you press E on each of these in order to put the posters up. You can't collect one poster at a time and put them up, but there is not necessarily, at least right now, there's no indication that it's like, here goes the 12 Samurai movie, this is the 20,000 Leagues movie, and this is the King Kong poster movie. Okay, let me check back with Hitoshi-san. So we get a prompt to speak with the NPC we spoke to earlier. I don't think this guy's name is actually Hitoshi-san. I think it's Oshi. You found the posters, right? Alright, you found the posters, right? Good for you. Now that you put them back on the wall, you can probably get that picture you wanted. And when you're done, wow. Mind leaving me in peace? The sooner we're out of here, the better. Just some little bits of dialogue are supposed to kind of make you curious, put you on edge, be like, why is everybody, like, why are you so eager to go? Like, what's the deal with that attitude? Now when you approach here, there is a there's an collision box around the movies poster area. You click on it, equip your camera, and press E to take a picture. So equip your camera, E, and that completes your objective. For now, Hitoshi-san does not have anything more to add, and the collision area around the posters disappears. I'm hoping maybe I can telegraph a bit more that you have to interact with the posters. We do still have the camera with a left click photo feature. I'm wondering if it will be confusing for you to, it'll be confusing where a player could walk up to the posters, not realize that they have to interact with the field around it, and then just go like this and figure that they're finished. We will have prompts that explain, hey, you completed the objective, or now you can move on. So if they walk up, they go like this and nothing happens, maybe they'll figure, maybe it's safe to figure that, oh, maybe I have to interact with the area now that the interaction icon is available. Or maybe there'll be a to-do list, like go over to the poster area and interact in order to complete your objective, or to continue your objective, something like that. We can leave now. That area is finished. All these NPCs do speak, but we want to move things along. Get a bathroom, working mirror, and all that. We should have a poster that is going to be collectible here, and there is a bathroom event that occurs as well. We also have this here. This guy pops up randomly, and then he's gone. Now we make our way to the end here, and this is the storage room. Like I said, no collision for a lot of this stuff. It's more just been placed here, and then collisions come later. So, storage room is in here. So, event is finished in there. We've actually hit all of the important points of the game, as far as like their tasks and objectives and things to interact with go. And then the doors open, and this is supposed to be a transition into a new map. There are 3 maps in the game. There's the tutorial map, the studio map here, and the soundstage map. And I've done this so that I can keep the maps from getting more like bloated with assets and information and the like. Wondering if there's anything else. Oh, unfortunately, I'm going to have to still do some tinkering. These doors are also supposed to be open, but for some reason they do not open. They're the same as the other door, but I guess the connections that I made were not sufficient. So this is the only door that opens. But it does show for sure your objectives have been completed and everything is actually working as it should. So the whole idea of all this was that I wanted to set the foundation for like the gameplay, the main gameplay objectives themselves. I'm gonna actually close this. No. Yeah. So the idea was that I wanted to make sure that the foundational like tasks and objective of the game were set up first. With that main map complete, I can actually move on to the tutorial stage, and I know what tutorials to do. I already know what to do as far as like how to set up the tutorial stage. And then the sound stage area is going to be a new map that features more cutscene elements, characters moving by themselves. You have maybe 1 or 2 or 3 pictures to take, and at the very least all of the work that has gone into the main into like that main studio has all fed like the knowledge base I need in order to complete the tutorial stage and the soundstage area like with the least amount of trouble. There's still a lot to go, and we have about a month and a half to do it, but if we're vigilant, then we should be able to get something done. Release date for the game is for at latest October 31st. Hopefully we can do it before then, but obviously still a lot to go. So hope that you enjoyed the playthrough. This has been Takano for TakaNeko Gaming, and yep, we'll be seeing you. Bye bye. And that's going to do it for this video, everybody. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Takano, and remember, my heart goes out to all of you. Take care.